in the know for Monday, October 21, the 295th day of 2024. There are 71 days left in the year. Good morning, MD, guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Get you set for a brand new week. Look back on a weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today. Here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. Here's my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's me. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Are you tired this morning?
Yes.
Did you have a big
yes.
weekend?
I did.
Let me run through this in phases. Did you have a good weekend?
I had a good, yes,
Did
a very
you
good
have
weekend.
a busy weekend?
Yes, a very busy weekend.
Did you have a long weekend?
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, I guess it depends on perception. To me, it seemed over faster than I really wanted.
And lastly, did you have a tiring weekend?
Yes, but I really enjoed the weekend. So yes, I mean,
We'll bring everybody
Yes.
in just a moment. I
Okay.
think most people are unaware
Right.
why we're acting goofy.
Yes.
He is a five-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the two-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley. And the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. You made it back safely from Jefferson County, I see. That's probably the most important thing.
Yes, we did. We did. It was harder getting there, more just based on dealing with Louisville traffic.
Yeah, it's a little different than normal. I got to tell you, I was gonna tell you this later, but there was a period on Friday night where I think for the first time in my life I was quad screening.
Really?
I was quad screening. So with the missus, we were watching the finale of Big Brother on the biggest screen. And then on the iPad, I was watching Cougar football. On the iPhone, I was watching the Yankees and the Indians. The Guardians. And on the fourth monitor, I was watching our grandson Brady James monitor, and it's because it was after his bedtime. So I was watching four different things at once on Friday night, trying to take them all in. So it was a busy weekend.
That's good, though. That's a good kind of weekend, though, right?
Yeah, it was. But I realized at one point in time, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm watching four different screens. I'm watching four different things.
Yeah.
I've got Big Brother, I got a reality show, I got a football game, I have a baseball game, and I have a grandson that we're trying to make
Yes.
sure is asleep for the night.
I think maybe Sam thought when you said quad screening, like the four different screens on the one, like four.
Right.
You know what I'm trying. The four on
The quad
one.
box.
They will do
Yeah.
it will do
Thank
that.
you, Sam. Yes.
It will do that.
It will, but I think that's what he initially thought. That when he said, "Really?"
It was our first weekend. It was our first Brady James comes to the country for the weekend with Granddad and Grandma. And so we picked him up on Friday from his daycare. And then
At school, Granddad.
they do have a daycare at his school. And so we brought him. The photograph that you're looking at online is actually one of the last ones of the weekend. That's the little bit of nap before mom and dad arrive, and then off to church and all that good stuff. But there's after bath time, and so yeah, I mean, how can you not? There's in the middle of bath time, and just being so happy. There's enjoying Saturday afternoon on the front porch, just everybody hanging out, and then there's Granddad and Brady James there. And then there's Saturday morning cartoons. You can't have. You come into our house, you're having cartoons for Saturday morning, and you can tell by the smile on his face. Anyway, it was a good weekend.
Yes.
Something we've been looking forward to for a while his mom and dad were away. Apparently, we passed all the tests.
Think so?
We got a seal of approval
We
and a
did.
thank you, and she didn't worry once and all that. Like,
I know.
you just make that your screensaver.
I know. He's so precious.
But anyway, it's
It was fantastic.
yeah, it was. Now I will tell you, I've met many of you over the years that have grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
and after they come and go for the weekend, you talk about how tired you are, and I thought, yeah, whatever, big deal. Well, you pack 20 pounds around on your hip or your arm, or you carry them around for the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize, hey, I don't do that every day.
No,
And-
it's a different muscle group. I am constantly lugging, pulling, tugging, furniture. Vandalay Industries keeps me. I mean, I've actually got a little bit of muscle, just from that. But this uses a different set of muscles. Yesterday at church, I told my aunt, I was like, I have a hitch in my get along, like my back hip, like the back part of my hip. I don't know how to describe it. Has like a, I don't know.
Plus a piece of furniture or a box of clothing or something.
Yeah,
you ultimately you can drop it.
Yes,
You
yeah,
don't want to drop
uh-huh.
it, but if you need to let go
Right.
of it, you can. I didn't think you're supposed to do that with your
No,
grandchild. I don't think you're
no.
just supposed to let go if they get
It's funny
get
that.
too heavy. So anyway, thanks to Taylor and Cameron for entrusting us with him for the weekend. But apparently she said thank you and she didn't worry, and that's the most important part. Warming up through midweek, it was a beautiful weekend. We spent. Our grandson apparently loves to be outside more than inside, which is the sign of a good grandchild, I think. He wanted to be outside, so we stayed outside most of the weekend, warming up through midweek. So if you enjoyed the weekend, you'll enjoy the first few days of this week. The next 12 hours or so, sunny and in the 70s. The Louisville Metro may tick 80 degrees today. We may get there tomorrow. A cold front will sweep through Wednesday, which will bring slightly cooler temperatures. Coming up on Thursday, we're going to warm up on Friday before then yet another round of colder temperatures. I shouldn't say colder, cooler temperatures, just staying in the 60s for the upcoming weekend, which seems like a fall weekend. There'll be probably a lot of pumpkin carving and that type of thing coming up this weekend, so the temperature will match. Today, sunny and 77, clear and 49 tonight, sunny and 80 for tomorrow is what you have to look forward to. If you're out and about today and you notice that the flags in the Commonwealth are at half staff, that is because Governor Beshear has ordered flags at state buildings to be lowered to half staff today in honor of a Kentucky soldier executed in the Sunshine Tunnel massacre during the Korean War, but whose remains were not positively identified until May. U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Raymond Hall of Whitley County was killed October 30, 1950, but was not accounted for until May 10 of 2024. He's being laid to rest today in Calverton, New York, and that's why flags here in the Commonwealth are flying at half staff. Many people, I think, got heard on Saturday early morning about an active shooter situation at Baptist Health Hardin. Happened about 5 o'clock Saturday morning when Elizabethtown officers responded to multiple shots fired in the emergency room of the hospital there on Dixie Avenue in E-Town. And the EPD, by the way, praised the Baptist Health Hardin security staff, who are unarmed, and they handled an armed gunman and called in police. The shooter was a 39-year-old George Lee Jr. of Radcliffe, who was jailed on a commitment order in 2016, was arrested in 2018 in Hardin County on third-degree assault of police or a probation officer, drug charges, carrying a concealed weapon, etc. In 2019, he was charged with possession of a handgun by a felon. In 2016, as I mentioned, he was jailed on a commitment order in Bullitt County. So he was involved in a shooting on Saturday morning, and he was shot and then airlifted to the University of Louisville Hospital, where I think he is in stable condition, and that investigation as far as motive, etc., is continuing. A sad story over in Barron County. An elderly Cave City man has been killed after a driver swerved into oncoming traffic to avoid hitting a deer. State police said troopers responded to a multi-vehicle accident about 10:30 yesterday morning on Scottsville Road, which is 31E in Barron County. A 2000 GMC Sierra being driven by 47-year-old Charles Vitito of Scottsville was north on Scottsville Road when he swerved onto oncoming traffic to avoid hitting a deer. The truck then struck an '09 GMC Sierra being driven by 76-year-old Daniel Webb of Cave City. Webb was pronounced deceased at the scene by the Barron County Coroner's Office. Vitito was transported to T.J. Sampson Community Hospital before he was being transferred to TriStar Skyline Medical Center down in Nashville. A passenger, a 71-year-old Sharon Webb, was transported with unknown injuries from that accident. So really sad to hear about that. It's a national story, but certainly has impact on some of our local residents and perhaps on us as citizens. Some 200,000 mail carriers have reached a tentative contract deal with the United States Postal Service that includes backdated pay raises and a promise to provide workers with air-conditioned trucks. The new agreement, which still needs to be ratified by union members, runs through November 2026. The letter carriers have been working without a new contract since their old one expired in May of 2023. Since then, they have continued working under the terms of the old contract. So I think both sides of the equation say that they're happy to get the deal done. You know, the thing that you hear out of that is the air-conditioned trucks. And, you try delivering mail in a rural area on August the 15th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you'll probably realize how hot it is and it builds in there. But I guess what I'm curious to know is, how do you mitigate that? If the window is down all the time anyway, it doesn't mean it's going to be pleasant, but the air might be more conditioned than it just being 108 degrees and 90% humidity. So how they go about achieving that, I don't quite know, but I will be interested to see to find out how they do. You know, on our show, we frequently have opportunity for you to learn more about ECTC and in particular ECTC Litchfield. And if you've been on the journey with us, you realize that the evolution of the educational system is designed, at least with the community and technical college level, to adapt to the needs of the community. So, for instance, if we were, this is happening real time. If you've got a facility in your community that's going to be making batteries for electric vehicles, then you want to tailor a curriculum that is designed to create a labor force to filling that need, right? Makes sense. Well, the Bluegrass Community and Technical College equine program has partnered with the Secretariat Center Off-Track Thoroughbred Adoption Program in an introductory course focusing on equine care for veterans transitioning out of the military and their spouses. Students will be taught this 3-week foundational course in a horse care management on-site at the Secretariat Center facility at the Kentucky Horse Park. The course will include hands-on instruction in basic horse care management with students learning industry-accepted standards and techniques. Is this a huge deal? No. I think it's a testament, though, just like we hear about ECTC Litchfield offering classes in American Sign Language or picking up these boutique skills that would be helpful in society, but right there in the middle of horse country where BCTC operates, it makes perfect sense that they're reacting to the needs of their community. I mentioned at the top of the show, Sam and his entourage headed off to Jeffrey and to Seneca on Friday night. Unfortunately, the Cougars fell in that contest. Sam, how was the trip in general?
Yeah, I mean, it ended, it was a tough way to end. Cougars lost by a final score of 34-29. I know it was one of those games that I think, the Cougars feel like they beat themselves in a lot of different ways. The defense is probably their worst game of the season, especially tackling. And, I mean, they had the lead. They were up by 1, had the ball inside their own 5-yard line, and ended up turning the ball over on downs on kind of a weird play. There was a miscommunication and so on between, I don't know. It was a miscommunication. I don't know as to whose fault it was. Probably a mix of a lot of different people. Seneca ended up getting the ball back. They had it 4th down and 12, I think, and had a hero play to pick up the first down and then scored a touchdown with about a minute left. Cougars drove down, had a shot at the end zone with about as time expired, and it just fell incomplete. So they lost 34-29. In the long run, they are still the 1 seed So they're still going to play the loser of Iroquois and Butler, which I believe they play on Friday. I'm pretty certain that is it. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then the Cougars will play Breck on Friday in a rivalry game, but they get to come back home.
When we were approaching the Seneca game, and we were talking about the Cougar Sports Report and all the hoops kind of that you had to jump through to be able to go to the game the other night, I never asked you privately, and I certainly didn't ask on the air, but in my mind I had wondered, will Sheriff Chaffins, will he be sheriff or will he be dad at the game on Friday? And I'm sure he was also dad, but he was also sheriff at the game on Friday night. I noticed that we had a significant law enforcement presence at the game because of a situation that had happened at Seneca, not involving Grayson County previously. But was it an odd air to the game? Were there tensions at the game on Friday night, Sam?
Not even a little bit.
Good.
Not even a little bit. No, I mean, Seneca, they were incredibly friendly. I didn't see, and again, with us, we're locked in the press box for 3.5 hours. They pretty much just push us in there and lock the door and say, we'll let you out at the end. But so it's hard for us to see, but we didn't notice a single thing. Everyone was very friendly. I know Ken was walking around. He went to the concession stand and said that they were extremely friendly. I mean, even we've gotten to the point where Ken's figured out that he can, at some concession stands, use his credit card. So it's fancy. Yeah, you should have seen him at Marshall
Is
County.
that helping your wallet?
Well, it's no impact on my wallet at all. But no, he
Might be helping ours.
Yeah.
I don't know.
but yeah, no, it was fun watching him at Marshall.
Asking you for cash.
It was fun at Marshall County watching him try to figure it out. It was like teaching a new dog new tricks.
I like that.
Yeah. So that was glad you were safe there.
Yeah,
and,
there were
safe
no
back.
issues even in the least that I was able to pick up on.
UK of the games on Saturday that I was watching, I was at least try screening on Saturday. But the UK game, here's how it started, Sam. I had UK on the big screen. I had the Yankees on the smaller screen. And then about the beginning of the second half, I switched it, said, okay, UK, you're going to the smaller screen. And the Yankees went up. And I ended up making a good decision because after the Cats it just turned out to being ugly. And I have decided that the highlight of the Mark Stoops era was 3 years ago. That was the peak. And we're on the backside of that, and I don't think we're going to get back to that level. And there are multiple reasons for that. Some of them are UK-specific reasons, and some of them are not. Just the landscape of college.
You better pony up, though.
Yeah, I did pony up, by the way, 3 years ago. And
maybe it's your fault.
I may be done ponying. I haven't decided. But Auburn will be at Kentucky on Saturday night. If anyone wants to go to the game, let me know. I'm happy to let you go. And so I'm definitely not going. But we did see Cutter Boley late in the game, who ceremoniously threw an interception on the first play. But Barry and Brown got a 99-yard return in the first half, et cetera. So anyway, you can't really polish that much more than you could. The blue-white game was Friday night. I didn't get to see it because I didn't have 5 screens because I was busy doing other things.
You couldn't have watched it anyways.
I couldn't have watched the stream.
The stream was just them interviewing, and I think if you looked over the shoulder, you might have been able to see one of the baskets.
Gotcha.
Which I don't know would have interested you.
It would not have interested me in the least. Andrew Carr scored 25. Freshman Travis Perry also highlighted the night for the blue team. So when is their first exhibition? Is it tomorrow?
Wednesday.
Thursday? Wednesday.
In fact, I was talking with my dad about that yesterday. I was like, I got to send you the tickets because I have all the tickets. So he's gonna go scout out where his season tickets are.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hopefully he brings better luck than you've brought to the football team.
Yeah, let's hope. Juan Soto's 3-run homer in the 10th sent the Yankees past the Guardians into the World Series for the 41st time, but the first time in 15 years. Do you realize that, honey, when you got your, yeah. So they went in 2009. I burned your Red Sox shirts and
Yes.
gave you Yankee shirts in spring of 2010. And they haven't been to the World Series since until now. So maybe everything is my fault. But it was exciting. And then the Dodgers, the Dodgers and the Yankees will meet in the World
That was
Series.
a softball right there.
Yeah, I know. For the
That was
12th
right.
time, but the first time since like 81 or 82. It's been a long time since the Dodgers and Yankees have met. Deshaun Watson got a season-ending Achilles injury yesterday, and the Bengals won 21-14. Sam, is that why you're wearing your Bengals hat today?
No, of course. It's the first time I've been able to celebrate a victory on the show yet. Because every
Yeah,
other
that's
time,
true.
I mean, because we had KBA, and then last week we had some technical issues that didn't allow me to celebrate.
Can't
so yeah,
blame you a bit
always.
for that. You're going to be there to see the Eagles on Sunday afternoon?
Yes, yeah, they was going to be the late afternoon game, but they've moved it to noon Central, so it'll be a little
You'll
earlier
get
start.
home earlier at least. That'll be...
Yeah, but it's a little earlier
see
wake
the
up call,
prime time.
which is
That's absolutely right. And Joey Logano won the NASCAR race over the weekend out in Las Vegas, and they had the Miami Homestead for the midpoint of the Cup race there. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. We've got embarrassing phrases that even smart people use coming up here on In the Know.
Gravel, crushed stone, or lime. No matter your project, Cadyville Crushed Stone has the rock you need at unbeatable prices. Our new owners have over 30 years of expertise to guide you through your next project. Whether it's new construction, a driveway, barn, or farm, we've got you covered. Our customer service team is available Monday through Friday, and our delivery team Monday through Saturday for all your rock solutions. Cadyville Crushed Stone. Call 270-879-0222.
If you strive for a healthy mind, body, and soul but feel overwhelmed, maybe it's time to talk with someone. Reach out to Fuller Life Counseling Partners. Whether you're seeking individual or couples counseling, family therapy, or substance abuse counseling, Fuller Life Counseling is there to help. Young or old, there are many benefits. Less anxiety and stress, better relationships, increased emotional balance, and more. Heal from within with Fuller Life Counseling in Bowling Green, Glasgow, Litchfield, and Scottsville. Or visit fullerlifecounseling.org.
That's a deal, yeah. McDonald's money. I got McDonald's money. One meal just to make me feel better. All I wanna know is, can I get a hot and spicy patty to make nuggets so crisp? And the fries go to yellow, yeah. McDonald's don't miss, yeah. Order app or the drive-through quick. $5. That's some deal, yeah. I got McDonald's money. I got McDonald's money.
At participating McDonald's.
At first, I was scared. Where am I going? Who will take care of me? I didn't know what was happening. I felt all alone. Then I met you. You spent time with me. You talked to me. You showed up for me. You give me hope. I'm not scared anymore. My casa is with me.
A CASA volunteer provides hope and consistency to some of the most vulnerable children in our community as they navigate the family court system. Will you be the light for a child in need? Become a CASA volunteer with CASA of the Heartland. Call our office at 270-982-2274. That's 270-982-2274. Or visit our website, casaheartland.org, to learn how you can change a child's story.
Owensboro Health offers compassionate care for addiction recovery. Nurse practitioner Kristen Buck provides a foundation of recovery from alcohol, opioids, and other addictive substances. With inpatient detox and outpatient medical assisted treatment, you don't have to walk alone on the road to recovery. To learn more about Owensboro Health Addiction Services in Litchfield, Kentucky, call 270-230-0212 or visit owensborohealth.org/addictionhelp.
Instagram is rolling out new features aimed at protecting teens from sextortion scams. Matt Mattinson explains.
That's when scammers threaten that they'll share intimate photos of the user unless they get some form of payment. Parent company Meta says one of the features expected soon is prohibiting the ability to screenshot or record temporary images, as well as photos sent used via direct messaging. The tech giant is also teaming up with Crisis Text Line to support those who fall victim to the scam or have other safety concerns. Meta said last week alone it removed over 1,600 Facebook accounts affiliated with a group notorious for those types of scams.
NVIDIA's large language model outperforming artificial intelligence industry leaders. The chipmaker's Nemotron beats OpenAI's GPT-4o and Anthropic's Claude 3.5 on key benchmarks. Nemotron is based on Meta's Llama 3.1. And Meta laying off an undisclosed number of employees. The cuts come across multiple teams. Last year, they let 10,000 workers go. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
This segment of In the Know is brought to you by our friends at ECTC's Litchfield campus. It's college for the real world. It's affordable. It's right here at home. They are starting a brand new 8-week Advantage course today. And as we talked about on Thursday, you'd probably get whiplash trying to get in this week. But if you've been a student before, you got a lot of that stuff taken care of, you can hop back in pretty quick. Or you can set your sights on the next 8-week Advantage that starts in January. Get your financial aid worked out, your schedule, get everything locked in, and be ready. College for the real world, affordable right here at home. ECTC's Litchfield campus, where they want to tell you today is Back to the Future Day. In Back to the Future, they traveled to October the 21st. In their case, it was from 85 to 2015. Remember when we got to 2015, everybody was looking for Marty McFly. It's like, you get around anywhere. Today is International Day of the Nacho. Can be some really good. There's some good ones. There are some bad ones. Just the nachos with just the melted cheese and maybe the jalapenos. But it feels like
You could
You mean like
do better,
like
but
missed-
concession stand nachos?
yeah.
Oh.
It's a missed opportunity.
Oh, listen, that's good eats.
Adjust your chair day. When people often sit in chairs in ways that strain their backs or cause long-term problems, so now's the day to kind of fix those. Garbanzo bean day. Is it also chickpea day, or are we required to call them garbanzo beans today?
I don't care what you call them. I like them.
Okay. I noticed I brought some in from the grocery the other day. I predict they're going to end up some of those in some vegetable soup, perhaps.
Yes.
Here are some surging searches as we approach Halloween a week from Thursday. Correct? It's a week from Thursday?
Yes.
Correct.
And here are the top kids' costumes of the year, according to Google. Barbie is 5. Skeletor is 4. Harley Quinn is 3. Can kids do Harley Quinn? Thought that was maybe a little more
I don't
advanced.
know, but Vandalay Industries can hook you up on Barbie.
Okay. Clown is at 2, and Taylor Swift is at 1.
Listen, and that's why I kind of groaned. I've actually been working with a mother to help make that costume happen
Interesting.
for the Eras tour.
Top
See?
adult.
I'm nice.
Top adult costumes. You won't stand in the way of commerce. No. Top adult costumes. 5 Toy Story, 4 Monster High, 3 Harley Quinn. So kids and adults both. Mermaid is at 2. Rapunzel is at 1. That's an odd choice.
That is a
Rapunzel
very odd choice.
for adults for this year. No new Rapunzel movie that I'm aware of. Maybe there was an abundance on long blonde wigs and there was an overrun and they were cheap. Top couples costumes. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Who's that?
What's the
Will and Jada?
no?
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I mean, no. It's the movie. It's Angelina Jolie.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I know, but why would that?
Is that right,
That
Sam?
doesn't
Apparently,
Is there
there's a TV series. I guess maybe a reboot.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it's on Prime.
Okay.
Barbie
Something
and
new to watch.
Barbie and Ken at 4, Bonnie and Clyde at 3, Bert and Ernie at 2, Joker and Harley Quinn at 1. Top group costumes, Scooby-Doo at 5, Inside Out at 4, Peter Pan at 3, Alice in Wonderland at 2, Alvin and the Chipmunks is at 1. And then the top DIY costumes for the year, Inside Out, Witch, Killer Clown, Cat, and Tinkerbell. Also some of the breakout searches, which are burgeoning, Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Sabrina Carpenter, and Ray Gunn, the Australian breakdancer from the Olympics. And people are going as Ray Gunn for Halloween. So that's some good choices in there, but also some classics.
Has Alea decided hers?
Yes. Yeah, you might have seen her at Scare on the Square. She's
I
already
was
rolled it out.
I was at Seneca, so no, I didn't see her.
Well, and I'm not allowed to look at any photos.
You're not.
No, and I'm not. This is yes.
Do you know what it is?
I do know what it is, but she has asked me not. I had not seen any when she told me about her costume, and she asked me not to go looking for the photos on social media. That she wants me to see it in person.
Okay.
And so far, I've been able to avoid the photos. So
I didn't go looking for the photo. The photo found
I
me.
know that usually happens. So it's kind of weird that it didn't just pop up in my face, but it didn't.
Well, yeah. I did ask her yesterday
I
if
saw
that,
remnants of
if
it.
that was she was. Yeah.
What is she? Are you allowed to share, or do you have to wait?
I think we're allowed to share.
The Grim Reaper. I mean, she's been seen in public that way. So.
I had to scrub some
I was the Grim Reaper one year too.
grim off.
to rub some grim
Listen, grim, grit, and grime.
Does she have the scythe then too?
That's it. And well, so it got into an accident at a friend's house, but the mother, being she's a good mother of the little girl, has ordered her a new one.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes.
There's a casualty of rough housing, perhaps.
Yes.
Here are 10 phrases. I did ask her yesterday if she was locked in, because she is the child that will figure out how to be 4 different things for Halloween if she wants. And but she said she's committed to the part. She's staying with what she's got. So, which to me is a sign of growth for the young lady. Here are 10 phrases that even smart people misuse that sound super embarrassing. I think there's only one on the list that I saw that I thought, I might not get that one right.
I'm afraid.
We'll start at number 1 and work our way toward 10. For all intensive purposes.
See, I remember when we did this it's been years ago, before the moves. And I was guilty of this one, and I was so embarrassed.
For all intensive purposes should actually be for all intents and purposes.
Maybe it wasn't this one.
The phrase for all intents and purposes means essentially or in effect. And so it has nothing to do with intensive or the layer of intent or the level of intense.
Yes. Maybe it's not this one I messed up on. Hang on.
Number 2, people will do is the statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute. Right?
That's right. In legal speak, you don't have statues in the legal system, but you do have statutes. So it is statute of limitations. I think a lot of people get this one wrong. Hunger pains. It is not hunger pains, P-A-I-N-S. It's hunger pangs, P-A-N-G-S.
No, that's not true.
Right?
Hunter pangs. What is a hunter pang? Hunger pang. What is a
hunger?
It's AI just told me here. The AI Google said it's also known as hunger pains.
Yeah, but you know that the AI is not always correct. Pang is the term associated with hunger-inducing cramping, while pain is a more general ache or discomfort. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines pang, P-A-N-G, as a brief, piercing spasm of pain, and that's where the phrase came from. It didn't come from. The word pain, P-A-I-N. 4, beckon, call. He was at my beck and call. No, not beckon. Beck and call. B-E-C-K, first word, second word, A-N-D, Third word, C-A-L-L. Pique my interest is not P-E-A-K, not P-E-E-K. It is P-I-Q-U-E. Pique is a French word to prick, to pierce. So I will prick your interest. Sleight of hand, S-L-I-G-H-T, is incorrect. It is sleight, S-L-E-I-G-H-T. Someone does not do diligence, D-O, diligence. They
Oh,
may
gotcha.
do due diligence,
You said doo-doo.
but they do not. It's not D-O and then the word diligence. It's D. You should do your due diligence. Snuck you in there between. Toe the line. It's not T-O-W, it's T-O-E. Because you're putting your toe up to the line. You're towing the line.
I felt like that one was pretty.
Take a different
You're in sports.
a different tact. T-A-C-T is not correct. Tack is a sailing term. You're going to take a different direction. You're going to take a different tack. T-A-C-K. And then people will write whet my appetite as in W-E-T, and it's wet, W-H-E-T. It's used to indicate sharpening one's interest in something. Whet my appetite. It has nothing to do with moisture level.
Right. Think whetstone.
Right,
Right. You're
that's-
sharpening your knife.
Correct. So was there anything on there were there any of those that you?
I feel like the first one is the one that I got embarrassed about however many shows ago, but I don't know.
Where on that list is nothing to ride home about?
Oh, I get along, little
It
doggies.
does not involve a horse or a car or any other mode of transportation. Got to get to a break. The weekend box office figures are coming up here on In the Know. Early voting in the general election will be available to anyone October 31st, November 1st, and 2nd from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main in Litchfield. Then on Election Day, November 5th, 2024, you may vote at any of the following voting centers. The Center on Main, 425 South Main Street in Litchfield. The Church of Joy, 100 Schoolhouse Road in Litchfield. The Old Caneyville School, 202 East Maple Street. The Falls of Rough Fire Department, 123 Green Farms Road. The Rock Creek Voting House, 10658 Grayson Springs Road, Clarkson. The Clarkson Community Center, 213 Millerstown Street. And the Big Clifty Community Center, 280 Cemetery Road. No matter where you live in Grayson County, you may vote at any of these voting centers between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on November 5th. Early voting is only offered October 31st, November 1st, and 2nd from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main in Litchfield.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start October 21st. Call 270-259-1540. ECTC, College for the Real World.
When buying or selling a home, you want experience, trust, and personal touch. But they say you can only pick two. Well, with Gina Lastly at Tom Baxter Real Estate, you get all three. With a decade of expertise as a broker, Gina's attention to detail and passion for real estate make her a trusted friend and professional. She goes above and beyond to ensure your real estate journey is smooth and successful.
I'm Gina Leslie. Put my passion for real estate to work for you. Call me now at 217-721-0034.
Discover the difference at TomBaxterRealEstate.com.
This year, celebrate Vote Early Day.
And make your voice heard.
Each year, the amount of people voting early grows.
And this fall, over 250 million Americans can vote early.
In person.
By dropping off their ballot.
Or mailing it in. With so many options, you can vote when it's convenient for you.
Election Day is the last day to cast your ballot.
So the question isn't why vote early,
It's why wait. Join the celebration and find out how you can vote early at voteearlyday.org.
Paid for by Vote Early Day, a Tide Center project.
Come and see all the good times that await you throughout Kentucky. Hike miles of trails surrounded by striking scenery. Catch fall festivals from lively music fests to local culture and heritage celebrations. Experience all the smells, sounds, and traditions of a bourbon distillery tour. Get nose to nose with some of the most magnificent and friendly horses anywhere, and so much more. Go to KentuckyTourism.com and plan your fantastic getaway. Kentucky. Come see for yourself.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, sohd.info.
Twin Lakes weather. It's all about the sunshine for today as we climb into the mid to upper 70s for your highs for your Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see highs near the 80-degree mark. That will be before a front moves through as we head into the second half of your Wednesday, bringing cooler temperatures basically just for Thursday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know the Grayson County Cougar Marching Band rocks it?
That's pretty awesome.
So at the 4A West Regionals now, season continues, of course. They're just having such a great season. Sorry, I'm distracted. I shouldn't have never started watching that because they're like, no, I'm not going to want to do my job. Also, another Did You Know today. Did you know the human skeleton renews itself every 10 years? So eventually you have different bones now than you did 10 years ago. So it's kind of a slow process. Shedding of your bones. Dim bones, dim bones, dim. The weekend box office is out, and Smile 2 won the box office. I think I've got that on the list here somewhere. By the way, I forgot, I didn't get to it. They're making Crocs for dogs now, so let's don't. Okay. Smile 2
I did not answer.
$23 million. The Wild Robot did 2. Terrifier was at 3. Beetlejuice at 4. We Live in Time at 5. That's how the weekend box office went. Goosebumps, The Vanishing. Disney Plus has dropped the full trailer for the first time. And David Schwimmer may be out of his mind as he begins acting incredibly erratic in the official trailer, Goosebumps, The Vanishing. It will be out on Disney Plus and Hulu beginning January 10. It's 8 episodes. Goosebumps, The Vanishing comes out January 10 of 2025. While the Yankees and Guardians were playing in Cleveland over the weekend, on Saturday in particular, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is kind of next door, was having their induction ceremony. And Cher performed, she's into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now, she performed Believe with Dua Lipa. So we'll get to see that on television, I think, coming up in, I think HBO will do a special on that. So there'll be other, I think Ozzy Osbourne got in. Jack Black talked Ozzy onto stage, and Ozzy came in like on a throne. They rolled him in on a big like Game of Thrones looking
Probably because he can't
deal.
walk.
Probably either chose not to. Jennifer Lawrence is expecting baby number 2 with her husband Cook. So J-Law going to be a mommy again. Congratulations to her. You heard me mention Beetlejuice in the weekend box office. Michael Keaton, who obviously is in Beetlejuice, was the host of Saturday Night Live with Billie Eilish. It wasn't terrible, but it was not as good as the other episodes of the season. Be interesting to see what the ratings do. The opening skit, Alec Baldwin, I don't like Alec Baldwin. And I'm not sure entirely why. I think it's many reasons go into the idea that I've just kind of decided I don't like Alec Baldwin. And I think it goes back into the 80s that I didn't really like him. But his just body of work and everything is like, they made him, since he's no longer doing Trump, he was Brett Baer to Maya Rudolph's Kamala Harris, and that wasn't too bad. But the Michael Keaton monologue was fine, but it just wasn't as good as the previous week. And I didn't get to mention last week that Dana Carvey is back in the news. You know, he has been playing Biden this season. But last week when Ariana Grande was the host, she and another of the cast member, and I can't remember if it's Chloe Fineman or I think it was Chloe Fineman, they did a Jennifer Coolidge sketch. And I don't know if you saw it, honey, but they were in a mirror from one another, and they were both imitating. It was like Jennifer Coolidge having a conversation with Jennifer Coolidge.
I looked over.
And they both did a really good job because Jennifer Coolidge just has this annoying speech pattern and delivery.
Mm-hmm.
It's charming, but it's annoying at the same time. Well, then they did the deal where they opened the mirror up, and all of a sudden there's Dana Carvey, who is also Jennifer Coolidge. So now you have 3 Jennifer Coolidges doing these annoying phrases. Come to find out, he had to learn that last minute. He didn't know he was in that sketch until sometime Saturday afternoon. So if you go back now and look at it and think, well, he did a pretty good job, I mean, to get that lined out and get that rehearsed. Pink is postponing some concerts due to a mysterious reason that she said was beyond her control. She is postponing her next 4 shows in Lincoln, Sioux Falls, Milwaukee, and Des Moines. But she says she will reschedule those and make them up. And then Ringo Starr is making news saying that Taylor Swift is this generation's Beatlemania. So the way that Taylor Swift is covering the globe and changing economies.
Probably not wrong.
And he is 100% not wrong.
Yeah.
But you know how my mind works. Does this make Travis Kelce Yoko? Travis Kelce is the Yoko of this equation, so we'll be interested to see how it ends. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got Chart Toppers, Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, and more coming up here on In the Know.
Hey parents, if you've got teenagers, you've probably already discovered how tough influencing them can be. They're becoming independent, which means they're pulling away from your instructions. But take heart. As your kids mature, they'll likely soften to your direction if you keep your relationship open and alive. Hi, I'm Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. Maybe you can relate to Bill, who's got a daughter preparing to head off to college. Bill's frustrated because he knows his advice could save her from a lot of bad choices and a lot of heartache, but she won't listen. The conflict between them has gotten so bad their relationship is suffering. If that sounds like a struggle you're facing with your children, here's a positive alternative to Bill's negative reaction. Since his daughter refused to listen to him, Bill has emotionally pulled away from her. But we need to do just the opposite. As our teenagers become more independent, that's when we need to step deeper into the relationship. That doesn't mean to become overbearing, of course. Just keep the relationship open and alive. As long as you have a relationship with your children, you have the opportunity to influence them. Stay close long enough, and the moment will eventually come when you'll get a chance to speak into their life and help redirect their course. For more encouragement to help your relationships thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
$5, that's a deal, yeah. feel better. All I wanna know is, can I get to hot and spicy patty, the McNuggets so crisp, and the fries go to yellow, yeah, McDonald's don't miss, yeah. Order app or the drive-through quick, yeah. $5, that's some deal, yeah. I got McDonald's money, I got McDonald's money.
At participating McDonald's.
MB's point upon it for today. What's the scariest movie of all time?
Oh my goodness, I know the one that, Flatliners is mine.
Flatliners.
Yes, that's the one. So I can watch, I could back in the day. I don't prefer them now. I can watch slasher movies. Flatliners.
Is that Rob Lowe and Julia Roberts and all them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland back in the day, where they were med students and they would essentially kill the other and bring them back. The other, Final Destination.
Final Destination.
Terrified of log trucks, and I have a feeling like 85% of the people out there that have watched the movie probably are scared of log trucks, among other things.
There are a bunch of movies that I probably watched as a kid, which I probably would tell you are scary, and I watch now, and they're probably just hokey. But I don't watch any of that stuff, so I'm like, I don't know what's the scariest movie of all time. I don't know if it might not be Psycho. You can go all the way back to those. I mean, Hitchcock stuff. Maybe that's the scariest movie of all time. Sam, you got one?
I'm kind of with you. I don't ever watch scary movies ever. I just don't care. I don't know. It's just never been something that has entertained me.
Even like as a teenager,
No.
Not with friends.
No, I mean, we saw a couple of. I remember we went and saw Woman in Black at the theater, which was Daniel Radcliffe. So Harry Potter was in that. Mm-hmm. And that was more of your very stereotypical, like, you could predict when all of this, the jump scares were going to happen. And it was more entertaining for us at that point, being 15, 16, or however old we were, that we were in there. And there were a bunch of, in the area around us were, middle and high school girls, and they weren't able to predict it. So them screaming bloody murder to us was hilarious at the time because we were able to predict it. So it was much more of a comedy for us than a horror movie.
According to Men's Journal, Sinister from 2012 is the scariest supernatural in a scientific study. 2012 supernatural horror film Sinister owns the crown as the scariest movie ever made.
I've never watched.
Never seen it, never heard of it.
Never seen it, never will.
In 2012, I was more like The Corpse Bride.
That's
right. Today's highlight in history on television. Sam, does the World Series start tomorrow?
I have.
Do you know?
Not a clue.
All right. I thought you were the walking baseball thesaurus.
No, I don't. I mean, this is about as bad of a World Series as it can get for me. So.
The Voice, the Battles premiere on NBC. The Neighborhood
Friday
returns tonight. It's not until Friday. Wow. Well, I guess they had allowed extra days in, obviously.
For Game 6 and 7, potentially.
Papa's House, the Damon Wayans new comedy, is on after The Neighborhood. I think that's going to be a good Monday night lineup. Either way, I watched NCIS Origins. The first 2 episodes they played last week, really good. Okay. So, I mean, all the Gibb... the Leroy Jethro Gibbs that you've learned throughout the 22 seasons of NCIS, to be able to go back before the first episode is neat, because you feel like the character development's already done. So it's nice. It feels familiar. And then the Fighting Lamar Jacksons at the... Does anybody I know play for Tampa Bay right now?
Liam Cohen. He's their offensive coordinator. Baker Mayfield's their quarterback.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, the receiver.
I don't know him personally. On today's
I mean, do you know one NFL player personally?
Sure, I do. Yeah. Today's highlight in history, this date in 2014, Paralympic runner Oscar Pistorius was convicted of culpable homicide. Manfred Mann is 84 today. Judge Judy is 82. Benjamin Netanyahu is 75. Will Estes is 46. Kim Kardashian, 44. Glenn Powell, 36. Doja Cat, 29 today. Gone but not forgotten, Alfred Nobel in 1833. Dizzy Gillespie in 1917. Whitey Ford in 1928. Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, born this date in 1956. Let's go to chart toppers. 1958, Cozy Cole was number 1 with Topsy Part 2. If you've heard about that much, you've heard about it all.
Part 2?
It's not much different, yeah. Part 1 probably was very similar. 1967, Lulu was number 1. To Sir with Love. If you wanted the sky, is it?
If you wanted the sky, I would ride across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high.
All right, let's go forward to 1976. Chicago. After they've made the name change from Chicago Transit Authority to just Chicago. Let's have a little falsetto here. Thank you, Peter. Let's go to, and this was early on when Peter Cetera was in front of Chicago too. Their sound completely changed. 1985. Whitney Houston was number 1. Wonder if we'll ever get AI Whitney Houston. You know, like they've done with Randy Travis. Teach AI how to do Whitney, and then I don't know if I want knockoff Whitney Houston. I think I just want the genuine article.
Yeah,
that's the nice thing about recordings. 1994. Brooks and Dunn, number 1.
Oh my goodness gracious.
They went from Boot Scootin' Boogie to She's Not the Cheeky Kind. All right, let's go forward to the 2000s, and Beyonce was number 1 with Baby Boy.
In the history of songs, that Brooks and Dunn one was one.
Huh?
Sam said he liked that Brooks and Dunn song.
I do too, actually.
No, I do not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Really? You're.
Oh, it is. That was awful.
12 years ago today, One Direction, including Liam Payne, was born, in the group. Live While We're Young was number 1. I saw where Zayn was suspending his tour in North America while they mourn his loss. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. You got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. You got to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in